All right, today I'm going to show you the all-new Honda S2000 from 2022. This thing has 69 million horsepower and 420,000 pound-feet of torque. I'm going to show you how fast it really is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, as you can see behind me, I got the Honda S2000, a legendary Honda nameplate, one of the most rarest, along with the Integras, the CivicTypeRs, the NSX. If anything, these things are skyrocketing in value right now, and it was a tragedy after a 10-year production run that it was halted. Will we ever get a new S2000? I don't know. But should you buy the one that's currently out there, because it's definitely raising its value? Today I'm going to show you what it's all about. Starting out with the headlights, it is a combination setup. They're halogen's actually correct, and high intensity discharges. The whole craze we had in the 2000s about HIDs. That's what it had at that time. You know, they still look beautiful. The headlight design, even the front bumper area, like right here, if you can see, that vent on the bottom is a functional vent, but the two side vents are fake. But the long hood and just everything about this car, I cannot speak how beautiful it looks, and it gets a lot of attention, especially in this color. But let's take a look at these wheels. All right, so now here we are at the wheels. This has an interesting setup. First of all, I love the 10-spoke wheel setup. Honda does great wheels usually, so that's a great thing. We do have 17s on front and back, but since this is a rear-wheel drive, it is staggered. We have two 15s on the front and a meaty two, I believe, 35 or 45 series tires on the back. So it's really, I think, 245 series, which is pretty big for the time zone it came from. So that is really nice. Overall, the rest of the side profile is a very coupe-like, Roadster-like look. The S2000 badge that's on the side looks very, very nice, and the overall profile very beautiful, especially when the top is dropped. And I believe it only came in convertibles. You can get hardtop aftermarket body kits, or even the spoon one that looked really, really nice. But let's move to the back. Continuing on with the rear end, as elegant as the front. Move back here. The dual exhaust look, the combination LED taillights with the halogens. Everything about the rear end, it's sculpted very nicely as well, and especially in this convertible look when the top is down, it looks extremely, extremely nice. If you're wondering how it sounds, well, here, take a listen. All right, so now we're going to take a look into the cargo area. You can open it from the inside or from the key. Press and hold this button right here, and that'll open it up. And once open, here's the magic moment, you have about 5 cubic feet of storage. This is just some mats that are inside. That's how the original mats look like. And you really don't have too much space, as expected. If you look at this way, it for you, but as you can see, it's enough for like a suitcase, a couple bags, even grocery shopping, you know. Not a whole lot, but definitely usable. Let's take a look at what's underneath the hood. Thank you to Wheaton Honda west of Calgary, Alberta, for letting me borrow this S2000. If you're interested in this or anything else on their lot, the link to their website is right below in that description. Underneath the hood, we have a 2.2 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. It makes 240 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque with an 8,000 RPM redline, which is incredible. The AP1, before the update of the mid-cycle refresh, did do more, but this one was an updated engine. It got a little bit of a difference, so it's not too bad at all. It's made it to a 6-speed manual transmission, only a 6-speed manual transmission. No other transmission was available, and it is only rear-wheel drive, one of the few rare cars that Honda built from the ground up to be rear-wheel drive. And it also had a torque sensing limited slip differential. Fuel economy numbers, I'll throw that up in the screen for you right now. This thing had a nearly perfect weight distribution of 49.51 from front to back, weighed just under 2,900 pounds, and 0 to 60, they're all over the place, to be honest with you. Same with the fuel numbers, but I did as best of a job as I could comparing and trying to get an average. It does seem to do about 5.8 seconds. All right, Jimmy, what do you think of this S2000?
It's definitely pretty timeless.
Okay.
Even though the interior is pretty basic, it looks still pretty good. The exterior is pretty good as well. It has a nice design with it. Good thing it's also a dual exhaust. That makes it looks pretty clean as well.
Okay.
That's also a manual.
Okay.
Which is also pretty cool. And that's it.
All right, a future aspiring car YouTuber, I guess, maybe. All right, time to step inside. As you can see, we don't have a whole lot to talk about. Having the top down is a lovely feature. Even the door handle, the way it kind of blends in nicely with the angles of the car, I think it looks nice. I'm just a fan of the S2000 in general. I literally have no complaints in this car. The door does not open a whole lot. As you can see, that's kind of the maximum kind of limit here. But taking a look at the door panel, you do have some nice quality leathers here. I believe this portion right here is leather, the mid door panel. The upper portion isn't, but this feels really nice with the perforations and the stitching. A little pocket net for storage because you don't really have too much, but it is what it is. The grab handle itself is very nice and girthy. Door handle and the switches are very reminiscent of the Honda products from back then. As you can see over here, we have a beautiful little plaque that says Honda S2000, manufactured by the Honda Motor Company, so that is very nice. Stepping in and closing the door. All right, so we don't have a whole lot to talk about. As I said, the steering wheel itself is very nice. I love it's a very unique Honda wheel. I've never seen any other Honda product except for the S2000. You have your cruise control settings, no volume controls, the kind of circular outline in the airbag cover, which is not too bad at all. To the left is where you would start your car, which, you know, matter of fact, let's start this right now and see how the startup sounds like. So to start the S2000, you put your key in and you go all the way, but you can't go past this, as you can see. And in that case, you push in the clutch and you got to press this engine start button. And that's how you start it. So kind of a two-step kind of thing to do. 2005 though, you can't really do too much to judge it against anybody else, because at 2005 you didn't have too many cars that had engine remote start stop. So so to the left, as you can see, we have a very like driver centric kind of interior. Like this is the interior as is, but everything is kind of facing towards me because, you know, it's more of a driver's car. This is what this Roadster is for. You have your audio controls right over here. Pretty straightforward. Your volume up and down, mute, channel, and your mode selector. Your driver's display area, pure digital, which was super rare for 2005, but it's not the same kind of digital we expect today. It has a very F1 race car kind of like look to it, which is pretty cool as well. And behind the switchgear, you do have your cruise control button over there, along with your defrosters. And these switchgear look very similar to like my Accord, for example. The HVAC controls, you know, I gotta say it, I love the knobs. Your knob for your temperature select, your airflow direction, AC, fan speed, and at least it has some like similarities with the two buttons and the knob, and then two buttons and like the lever area over here. So it's very nice. Moving lower, you do have a couple of vents that are, I'm not even sure if these are real vents, to be honest with you. They don't have any controls on them. But if you're wondering how you play your music, it's through this guy. Nice little S2000 imprint. And you have your factory audio system. Believe it or not, this is factory. I know it kind of looks interesting and aftermarket, but it's factory though. Doesn't show your time, but has a CD player and radio. And I think, you know, a better music to my ears would be shifting through these silky smooth gears. So that's not too bad. The 6-speed manual transmission, the only way this car came. Pretty cool, right? Let me turn the car off as well, by the way. Just so this poor guy stops shaking. But look how beautiful it looks too. And it's got the traditional Honda short throws, which I really love. It's nice and great to feel. You don't really have any storage here, but you do have your roof controls for your, you know, convertible top. You have your flashers. And then over here, once you press this, you do have some Honda keys that you get. Just kidding, you don't. A little bit of storage. You don't get a whole lot of storage in this car as expected. The car isn't that big. But what you do get is some decent cubbies, you know, so you get that. Your hand brake feels very nice and girthy, so that's nice. And then over here, you have a little armrest. It doesn't move though, it doesn't open, nothing like that. You have a 12 volt back here, and you have a little tiny storage compartment that, yeah, has your trunk release lever that I mentioned earlier, and a tiny bit of storage for, I guess, your wallet or some special stuff you got going on. Aside from that, like, there's not too much about this car, right? The interior is not meant to be some super feature packed, because that way it's more heavier too. And this is meant to be a light roadster that's pretty quick with a small engine, and it is quick for its size and weight and with the power it comes in. Lastly, these seats, They're nicely bolstered, as you can see. I love the design. Bucket kind of seat feel to it, perforations in the center portion, and they feel nice to sit in. I'm about 6'1" and 183 pounds, and it feels pretty roomy and comfy for me. So yeah, the last thing we have left to do now is go for a drive. So let me show you what this S2000 is all about. All right, so we have the last portion of what we do in every video. That is the driving impressions. We're in a nice quiet neighborhood, as you can see. Let me start it up and just show you how it feels like to drive just casually, you know, around the road. So let's do that. And you know, the manual transmissions, they're so much fun, aren't they? The visibility, I gotta say, with the top down especially, it's very, very good. I'm assuming with the top up, it could be a little bit tight on the blind side areas, the blind spot areas. But other than that, like, everything else is pretty smooth sailing in my opinion. The front window especially, like, wow, it's super clear. Mirrors are small as expected, but I can see I have no blind spots in this car. Even in driving on the highway or at higher speeds, we basically had some pretty good, sorry, let me just make sure this is good. There you go. We had some pretty good sturdy feeling. This thing at higher speeds didn't feel like you're, you know, shaky or flimsy or anything. It was super high quality, and Honda has high quality builds, especially from the 2000s and 90s. We all know Honda was, and still is for a lot of their cars, a super reliable brand, and still is. Sorry, the cameras keep moving because it's impacted by air. But yeah, you know, driving in the neighborhoods alone, it is fun. Nothing bad at all. It's comfortable, and it gets a lot of attention, especially from the old timers. We had a bunch of bikers say, "Oh my God, can I trade you my bike for this car?" And I was like, "Sure." Forgot to give it enough gas. Wow, I'm not sure how well you guys can hear. Hopefully the audio is pretty good here. I do have my, whatever they call it. What do they call it? The wind muff? Are you sure? No, you're not. You're not sure about it. Anyways, I do have the wind muff on right now, so hopefully it's still pretty good quality audio. But, you know, if not, then I'll realize this after. I'll try to fix it in post-production. But yeah, it's just so fun to drive. It gets a lot of attention, despite it being a Honda S2000. And this thing is insane. The brand new pricing for this in Canada was, I believe, 49,000 MSRP in 2005 when this thing came out. And now it's for sale with about 78,000 kilometers for 53, 54. And like, talk about a car that increases its values. And it seems like a lot of Honda's really special, unique cars have done that. The original NSX, the CivicTypeRs, the IntegraTypeRs, S2000s, they've all appreciated pretty well in their time, especially for clean examples. I saw one for sale for $100,000, which is insane. But I'm just gonna stay quiet now and let you enjoy some driving while we head back to Honda West. So hopefully you enjoy this next little portion coming up over here. Yeesh. This thing's confusing. Circles on circles on circles on circles. Wow. All right, so I'm finally back in a neighborhood, just so it's not so loud. I don't think you could hear the car that well. Hey, there's my car. Different color though. I don't think you could hear the car that well when it's windy all over the place, so sorry about that. Still working on the production quality, you know, it's a pretty small channel. Talking about that though, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has been with me and this channel from the start. It means a lot. I can't believe we're coming in on 2 years already. Like, felt like I just started making these videos like yesterday or last month, you know. I know yesterday's kind of cliche, but yeah, no, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that's, you know, been here from the start, or even if you're new, I appreciate you joining. It's really an honor to be able to make car videos and drive some of my favorite cars and showcase it to you guys. I've had to learn everything from the start, but it's been definitely worth it. And yeah, extremely grateful. Reached 1,000 subs recently as well, so thank you for that to everybody who contributed. And hopefully we can keep on progressing into the future and bring on even cooler cars to show you. So I'll kind of leave it at that, and hopefully you enjoyed this video as a little second anniversary video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.